I'm going to go back here to Nina. This is something that I thought was very important. When they knew her as the lady of Lagash, the one who gave barley of the field so that the people could eat to satisfaction, or when she was approached in her holy shrine and asked to untangle the threads of the images of dreams so that all could understand what had been told to them when their eyes were closed with sleep, knowing her as the judge of humankind on the last day of each year, she who asked if they had comforted the orphan, she who asked if they cared for the elderly and ill, she who asked if they had given shelter to the homeless, she who asked if they had given food to any who were hungry. They said that her name was Nanshi. When they spoke of who it was that formed the people of the earth and the guiding help of Namu, and who it was that directed brother slash husband Enki to feed the people she had made, and who it was that watched as Enki attempted to make people of his own, and thus produce such a feeble being that it could not walk and could not talk and could not even reach its hand out to take the bread that had been offered, and who it was that, seeing this, cursed Enki for the sorrow he had brought by trying to fashion human life when it was not his natural work to do. They said that her name was Ninma. I find that very interesting and very important. So, according to the Sumerian, Namu created the people, and Nina took care of them. So, there's a direct line here in the Nag Hammadi library about Yaldabaoth and Set, but we see here, then again, when they looked upon her as the holy mountain that rose from the primeval waters, the holy cow that came at the beginning and shattered the very air with her presence as regent of earth and heaven, and when they stood before her shrine at Al-Ubaid, where the winged lionesses guarded from above, while images of her sacred herd of cattle were marked in ivory on her blue mosaic wall, when they remembered that it was she who first gave birth to the healing plants that Enki ate in greed as soon as she birthed them, and when they remembered who it was that they had placed the gravely ill Enki by her sacred vulva until she brought forth 8 deities of healing, each born without any pain of labor, so that the greedy Enki was soon cured of his illness. They said her name was Ninhursag. So Enki's trying to make people, he's stealing the medicines, and then she turns around and heals him. Such is her compassion. Okay, that was a very important part. And we talked about that. And then it talks about the death of Dasmuni, and how there's famine and drought after he dies. This is Inanna's lover. Though the drought and famine of the land were reminders of Damuzi's death, Sumerians also remembered a long time before, when Inanna had descended into the Irkala, walking down the steps of the land of no return, arriving in the domain in the land of the dead. Inanna had found herself a captive and had been freed only with her promise that she would supply a life in substitution of her own. So it came to pass that Inanna once again ascended into heaven, searching for a substitute to send to the Irkala in her stead, accompanied and guarded by the hosts of Galas, ghastly, heartless demons who turned life into death. Seeing the loyal Ninshibur waiting for his mistress to return, the Galas were about to take him as the substitute until Inanna stayed their pale white hands, telling of his consent, faithful service, and declaring that Ninshibur was not to be her choice as substitute. Approaching the city of Umma, the Galas spied the god named Shara, and again stepped forward to claim him as the substitute, but Shara bowed low in the dust of Inanna's holy feet, and for this act of reverence and respect, Inanna turned the gallows from this humble god, thus sparing him from being taken to the land of no return. Approaching the city of Bad Tabera, the gallows spotted the god Latarek, and once again stepped forward to claim him as a substitute, but Latarek bowed low in the dust at Inanna's holy feet, and for his act of reverence and respect, Inanna turned the gallows from this humble god, thus sparing him from being taken to the land of no return. Finally, arriving at the district of Kulab, a neighborhood upon the grounds of Erech where Inanna's temple glistened in the sunlight, Inanna was shocked to see Damuzi, the son she had appointed as the shepherd, the lover she had appointed as keeper of the goat stalls, for no longer was he dressed in shepherd's clothes. Dressed in royal robes, he was sitting high upon Inanna's throne, and more astonishing, Inanna saw that he was rejoicing at her disappearance, happily claiming her position of sovereign and ruler of the lands of Erech. There he sat, joyfully celebrating her long absence, the days that she'd spent in Irkalla, hoping she would never return. Infuriated at his heartlessness, at his pleasure in sitting upon her throne, while shedding not a tear at her disappearance, nor at the possibility of her death in the Irkalla, his thoughts only upon the crook of sovereignty and the power that he had gained upon her absence. Inanna looked upon him with the eye of death. Thus the gallows claimed Damuzi as the substitute, dragging him off to Irkalla, to the land of no return, for allowing his ambition to cause him to forget all love and loyalty to his mother, his mate, his goddess. So, thus she banished even her own son, when he had rejoiced at taking the ancient mother's place upon the throne. So, essentially, we see the correlation with Demeter and Persephone. But essentially, these people lived so long, they married their sons and made them their lovers. Anyhow, it goes to show that when you forget the love that you've been shown, and you become arrogant and obtuse to what you've been shown, and you gain that, and you forget the truths and the love that you've been shown, you eventually fall. So there's a lot in this book I would like to share, but we're not going to go into it too much. I'm trying to share with you many of the words that speak of the ancient ways, and this is an important understanding that people have forgotten. And I like to draw some correlations, which I will shortly. Have a good day.